Once again, welcome back to Crypto Toro. On today's video, I would like to talk about FXT token. But before doing so, I would like to thank you for all your support lately. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. That would be very nice. And you will be supporting the channel by doing so. So let's take a look at FXT token right away. And what we are seeing is actually FXT token is a token that I think has major potential to become a very big player in the cryptocurrency space, and I personally think that it will become one of the biggest coins during the upcoming years, especially because they have great potential. And why they have such great potential is actually because on the derivative markets they are actually coming up with a lot of solutions, and this is why I think it will become a great asset. That is also why I placed the link down below underneath in the description for the white paper if you would like to read it. So I think it's just a huge coin, and what I wanted to show you as well is that FXT token right now is actually, if you take a look at the top derivative tokens by market capitalization, FXT token is actually already the biggest one there yet. So you could be saying, yes, they're already very big and they do not have that much potential. What I actually think personally is that because they're already the biggest inside of this particular category, I think they have a lot of potential to become even a way bigger player inside of the overall cryptocurrency space. But of course, there are other projects here like Injective Protocol or Yuma that have a smaller market cap and could become big as well. But right now, FXT token is actually showing the amount of value that they already have. The amount of market cap that they already have is actually telling me that this could become a real big deal inside of the cryptocurrency space. And that is why I personally think that holding FXT token for the upcoming years could be a quite good decision. So let's take a look at FXT on the overall chart. And right now I opened up the FXT compared to the US dollar on the 4-hourly candles. And what we are seeing over here is actually we have this huge drop from its all-time high all the way down towards where we're currently at. If we measure this move, you will see that the pullback is approximately around the 65%, and that's just a huge pullback as we saw as well on the overall cryptocurrency space. And right now I think we are reaching the bottom, or we reached the bottom actually, because we are seeing this huge V-shaped pattern forming right now, and FXT actually breaking the trend that we saw previously. And which trend did we saw previously? We were seeing this downtrend getting created over here from the beginning of the top of over here, let's say here, all the way to here. Right now what you are seeing is actually that FXT token was able to break above this downward sloping resistance line, and right now is trading above it, and it even broke the trend towards the downside, and that is well seen over here when we broke above this downward sloping resistance line. So that is something very important to take a look at. But especially right now, there is not a pattern being formed, but you could say that it is trading inside of a parallel channel towards the upside. And what you are seeing over here is this parallel channel over here getting created. We already have three touch points on the lower upward sloping support line, and already you could see a touch point on the upward sloping resistance that we are seeing over here. And here we had actually almost a test of this upward sloping resistance. So we are trading still inside of this parallel channel right now, finding support on top of this upward sloping support line, as you can see over here. And so the possible move towards the up or downside will be something like this. That's of course what I personally think, but if you measure this parallel channel this way, just a little bit more like this, so it is better to measure for us. And if we see a breakout towards the upside being created, it would be a small breakout outside of this parallel channel that we are seeing right now, and at this breakout of approximately, let's take a look, 12%. So this breakout, what I personally think is very worth it, especially because it will be actually confirming that the overall trend right now is not anymore towards the downside, but actually towards the upside. And if FXT token breaks towards the upside, it will be trading underneath this level of resistance over here, and that would be at a price of approximately 46 US dollar. So that is the possible breakout towards the upside. Let's take a look at the possible breakout towards the downside. And what we are seeing over here is as well a 12%, almost 13% breakout towards the downside. And we will be heading towards the $29 level if FXT token breaks towards the downside instead of towards the upside on this parallel channel that we're seeing towards the upside overall. So this uptrend, I think, is more likely to break out towards the upside, but for sure, if we break out towards the downside, we will be finding support, I personally think so, on top of this level over here at approximately $27. And if we break out towards the upside, as I showed you before, we would be heading towards the $47, and then I personally think that we will be finding support on the $44 on top of the upward sloping resistance, and heading even further afterwards. But right now, I think we will break out above this parallel channel towards the upside and find support on top of this previous upward sloping resistance and finding support on top of it. So that is something I wanted to show you on the US dollar chart, and I will be heading further towards the Bitcoin chart. And what we are seeing over here is actually something quite similar to what we were seeing on the US dollar chart. But what I wanted to show you is as well the EMA ribbon compared to Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame. And what we are seeing over here, it's not just that we are seeing that parallel channel over here as well, but right now FXT token was able to break above the EMA ribbon and is right now currently finding support inside of the EMA ribbon, and it is quite probable that the EMA ribbon will right now, if FXT token has enough strength and stays above the EMA ribbon, finding support on top of it instead of overhead resistance. I personally think that it will be a huge potential move towards the upside, especially if we find support on top of it and if we see a momentum switch in the EMA ribbon, that the longs are taking over the shorts like over here, and that would mean that we will be seeing a huge uptrend towards the upside. Maybe it won't be as big as we saw previously, but a move towards the upside will be inevitable, as we saw before as well. So that is just something I wanted to point out over here. On the EMA ribbon, it's actually looking quite strong for FXT token at this certain moment. And furthermore, I would like to enable as well the moving averages on the daily time frame. And if we look at the moving averages, you can see that right now we are currently trading right underneath the 50-day moving average, and that is something in particular what I think is very important, because we are not just inside of the EMA ribbon as I showed you before, but on the daily time frame we are finding support on top of the 100-day moving average, and right now currently finding resistance underneath the 50-day moving average. But once we break above the 50-day moving average, I personally think that we will be seeing a huge move towards the upside getting created, especially if we break above the 50-day moving average on the daily chart as we are looking at it right now. And the strength compared to Bitcoin chart, I think personally that is a great sign for a possible price move towards the upside on the FXT token, so breaking out of the parallel channel that I showed you before. So if you're liking the content so far, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below in the description section. And if you would like to buy FXT token, don't forget that right below you will find several links where you can sign up to different crypto exchanges, and Gate.io is one of the exchanges where you can buy FXT token with very cheap fees. So that's something I just wanted to point out, and if you're using the link down below, you will also be supporting the channel by doing so. So if we take a look at this further here, what we are seeing on the 4-hourly time frame, if I disable the moving averages, we are not just seeing this, but we are also looking at them. If we look at the MACD, we are seeing that a possible momentum switch towards the downside is not near yet. We are seeing the MACD heading towards the upper part. A crossover will be inevitable at some part, but I think we will have enough strength to stay above the EMA ribbon for this current moment right now. And that is something in particular that I would like to see, that the 4-hourly candles will be able to close above the EMA ribbon, so finding support on top of it instead of getting rejected and finding resistance of the EMA ribbon. So this is something you have to monitor closely, and I personally think that once we see the crossover and the MACD, for sure we will have a momentum towards the downside getting created. But I personally think that if we have enough support, especially because we are trading as well above this level of support right now, we could probably bounce back a little, but not as far, especially because we are inside of the EMA ribbon, and it could be providing us as support as well. So that is something very important to take a look at. And furthermore, I would like to enable something else as well. Something I think is even more significant than the EMA ribbon are the moving averages at this particular moment. Because if we draw a Fibonacci level, I will be showing you from swing high towards swing low, because right now we are currently in a downtrend, and that is especially why I chose to draw the Fibonacci retracement this way, is that we are not above this level of support, but we are also right underneath the 0.382 Fibonacci level. And personally, I think if we find support on top of this Fibonacci level, for sure the uptrend will still be there, and we will see moves towards the upside getting created, especially once we see the MACD crossover further in the future. I personally think that we will be seeing huge moves towards the upside, and if we break out of that parallel channel where I was talking before during this video. So lastly, I wanted to enable as well the RSI, and what we're seeing over here is something quite similar to the MACD, and that's actually that we are almost on above the dotted line on the upper part of the purple box. And once we get above the dotted line, it is very probable that we will see a move towards the downside getting created on the RSI, and for sure the chart will follow. But before doing so, I personally hope that we will still see enough momentum towards the upside, so FXT token will be able to find support on top of the 0.382 Fibonacci level for this current moment. So this was just a quick update about FXT token and why I think you should be holding this in the long term. And please, if you're interested, don't forget to read the white paper, because it will give you that amount of information that you need before starting to invest on FTX token. So right now, once again, I really appreciate your support, and if you could please give me a thumbs up on this video, I would really appreciate it. So right now, I will wish you a pleasant day. So bye.